Bonjour, bienvenue à tous et à toutes. Thank you to everyone for being here today. Mon nom est Marie-Gabrielle Ménard. Je suis nouvellement secrétaire parlementaire au ministère des Femmes et des Égalités des genres, secrétaire d'État aux côtés de la ministre Rechie Valdez pour les dossiers de petites entreprises et de tourisme. Avant de commencer, je tiens à reconnaître que nous sommes tous sur le territoire non cédé de la nation Algonquine-Anishinaabe. Cette nation occupe ce territoire depuis des temps immémoriaux. Reconnaissons-le. C'est avec plaisir que je vous accueille tous et toutes ici pour le lancement de cette saison ô combien colorée. Et oui, ça y est, c'est le début de la saison Fierté au Canada. Oui. Pride season celebrates the strength, the diversity, and resilience of two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and additional sexuality, and gender diverse. J'y arriverai, j'y arriverai. During this ceremony, I invite you to reflect on the strides that we have been made and the work that lies ahead to ensuring equality and inclusivity to the 2SG LGBTQ2+. Je le dis plus vite en français. Pour ouvrir ces célébrations, j'invite le grand baryton canadien Mark Wilkinson à entonner le Haut-Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Merci, Marc. Je parie qu'on n'aurait pas fait mieux, n'est-ce pas? Le talent est au rendez-vous. J'aimerais accueillir Dylan Jenkins. Donc, il est le gardien du savoir bispirituel pour débuter notre événement.
Sanse, Sanse Gaya, Tsawa. Ani bonjour, Kwe. Bonjour à tous. Welcome to all. I'm Dylan Jenkins, Two-Spirit Knowledge Keeper, storyteller, and sanctioned by my elders. And it was with their guidance that I am here today to bring us all together, all of us. And it is the protocol of our people that we honor those people that have guided us to where we have been. So I will thank Grandfather Ted Silverhand, Tuscarora Nation, Miss Martina Zalman, Elder Barb Brand, Tyandinega, Iroquois Confederacy, and Elaine Lavallee, Métis Nation, Red River. It's an honor always to be here with everyone, and we do prep before we come here just like anyone else. We sit with our medicines and we listen. That's what our elders remind us, is to sit and listen because the universe has a way of telling you. and reminding you. And when I was sitting with my medicines, I was reminded. It's going to fall off there. I was reminded of when Creator decided that it was time to make the humans. And he had already created all of the natural world, and this was his one last piece of art. And he summoned all of the animals, all the creatures came. And he said to them, I'm creating the humans, and I need some advice, because we always counsel. He said, I have a very special, sacred gift for the humans. Very powerful. But I don't want them to find it until they are ready. And so first the eagle spoke up and said, you know, Creator, I am going to take it, whatever this gift may be, and I will fly it above the treetops, and I will even take it to Grandmother Moon. And then Salmon spoke up, and Salmon said, actually, I'll take it, and I will swim it to the lakes and the oceans. I'll bury it deep like I do with my eggs. They won't find it there. And then Buffalo spoke up and said, well, you could give it to me. I will take it to the plains, and I will bring it out there, and I will bury it into the ground. They will never find it there. And then Bear said, hey, you know, Creator, maybe I'll take it, and I will take it to the forests, and I will hide it in the trees. They will never find it there. And Creator said, well, thank you. I appreciate your counsel. But they will find it. You see, because they are going to want to become like birds. Testing. So they are going to want to become like birds. And they're going to fly into the heavens because they think that's where they're going to find it. And they'll even get to the moon. So that won't work. Well, what if... Well, no, it won't. No, we can't do the oceans because they want to become like fish. And they're going to go there and they're going to drill down as far as they possibly can because they think that is where they're going to find the truth. So no. And then Buffalo, no, they will go out to the plains and they will drill down. They will cut the skin of Mother Earth because they think that is where they're going to find it. And Bear, no. They're going to go into the forests. And they're going to cut down the trees. And you can't even give it to your brother, the white bear, up in the north, because they'll get up there too, and they'll think they're going to find it there, and they'll chase away the white bear, a very sacred bear. No. And then Grandmother Mole, who cannot see but has the gift of spiritual sight, had a very sacred relationship with Creator and said, Creator, what is this gift that you are talking about that is so powerful and so special? He said, Grandmother, it is truth. And she said, oh, well, you're going to have to put it inside of them. And only then, when they have the courage, when they get rid of the fear, will they then find it and be able to embrace that and walk in truth and walk in beauty. And today, we are here to honor the people of the rainbow who are a reminder of this. Because you see, they have embraced their truth, regardless of the fear, through courage, to contribute in harmony and in balance. All the gifts of creation, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, it is all here. And our people of the rainbow, you are a reminder of our humanity. And you do not find division where there isn't any. You compose and you walk in truth. And today, we are going to honor a flag, the rainbow, that brings all people together between storms and the sun. And it is a spiritual pathway between the physical and to the spirit world. So I'm going to now call into the ancestors yours and mine, and to invite them into this space. And so I ask you to open your hands and face them towards the sky, and I will call them in. And I ask you to open your heart, because as a two-spirit person, I know that that is where my truth is. Hey And so it is, and so it shall be. Aho, let's celebrate.
The very, very inspiring and touching, sage Dylan Jenkins. Merci infiniment, Monsieur Derlune. J'invite à l'instant le très honorable Premier ministre Mark Carney à donner le coup d'envoi à cette fierté du Canada.
Merci beaucoup. Merci tout le monde. Merci Marie-Gabrielle. Thank you, Mark, for that incredible rendition of our national anthem. And Dylan, for an extraordinary way to begin this gathering in the right way, under the flag of the rainbow, and with truth inside of us being revealed. I'd like to celebrate all members of Parliament and their colleagues who are joining us today to celebrate Pride, to celebrate the diversity that makes Canada unique, that makes our country strong. Vois autant d'élus de différents partis rassemblés pour voir ce drapeau être porté par le vent. C'est un symbole fort, un message d'unité en soutien des droits et libertés de chaque Canadien et Canadienne. You know, our country, like the flag, is a mosaic. We're all different, we all have our distinctions, we're all Canadian. And one of our strengths of Canada is recognizing that people can be who they want to be, they can love whom they want to love, they can live where they want to live. The federal government, on whose seat we are the defender of those rights. We are the defender of our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And as we gather today in a moment to raise a flag in recognition of those rights, it's more than 40 years since the Charter was first signed right here on Parliament Hill. We should recognize the progress that has been made that is both powerful but also sometimes precarious. 22 years ago, on this very day, June 10th, 2003, the Ontario Court of Appeal issued a decision that immediately legalized equal marriage for same-sex couples in Ontario, a first for any province. Yeah. I remember that feeling on that day. And 20 years ago this month, the Parliament of Canada passed the Civil Marriage Act, making Canada one of the first countries in the world to recognize and make marriage equality the law of the land. We are the defenders of that. We are the defenders of that. Pride is a celebration of how far we have come. It's a celebration of how in many important ways love has already won. But pride is also a promise to ensure that justice, security, and dignity will always be demanded, defended, and delivered. Yeah. Pride is a promise. It is a promise to every young person, regardless of their identity, that they'll be able to walk through their school doors without being afraid of whether they can get safely through their day. It's a promise to every couple who wants to show affection, to be able to hold hands in public without looking over their shoulders. It's a promise to every Canadian that they will be respected, that their rights will be protected, that you will be safe in your own community and proud in your own skin. Ces engagements reflètent nos valeurs. Au Canada, chacun a sa place. Chacun est libre d'être soi-même lorsque chacun d'entre nous peut réaliser son plein potentiel, s'exprimer, contribuer à notre économie et à nos communautés. Le Canada est plus fort. When we stand up for all the rights of all our fellow Canadians, we strengthen our own. In a time where, unfortunately, around the world, there's a backlash struggling against the progress that has been made. In this time, Canada will always stand up for the vulnerable and for the equal rights that we cherish. Yes, we can take pride in how far we've come, but we should also recognize that there is much more to do. Far too many Canadians continue to face hatred and discrimination because of just who they are and whom they love. And that's why Canada's new government is supporting Fierté Canada Pride, to ensure and help have successful and safe Pride celebrations across this land. Yeah. And we are making, and this is not an announcement for today, it's an announcement for time. We're making funding permanent for the Two-Spirit LGBTQI plus Community Capacity Fund to support community organizations and protect our rights and advance equality across our country. Nous allons établir un nouveau programme de fécondation in vitro qui rendra ces traitements plus abordables. Nous allons également augmenter le financement du programme d'aide internationale qui, à travers le monde, permet de lutter contre la persécution des personnes qui ont des orientations sexuelles ou des identités de genre diverses. We stand up for rights around the world. Now, today marks the start of a series of events, marches, and celebrations. And Canada will be strengthened by those events, by those celebrations, by the solidarity and courage that they sometimes have to represent. We will be strengthened by those acts. You know, Aristotle once taught that virtue is like a muscle that grows with exercise. We become just by doing just acts, brave by doing brave acts, empathetic when we show empathy. When we are kind, kindness grows. When we are Canadian, Canada grows. Pride is Canadian. So let's celebrate Pride today, through this month, through every month, week, day, hour of the year, together for an even stronger and fairer Canada. Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much.
Le Premier ministre du Canada, Mark Carney. Merci, Mark. Alors que le premier ministre citait les backlash qui peuvent menacer les sociétés qui tentent de s'incliner vers le progrès, j'ai le très, très grand plaisir de vous présenter une femme ô combien déterminée à mener ces luttes, la très honorable ministre Rechie Valdez.
Well, good morning, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. How are we doing today? Happy Pride? That's what I like to hear. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge that I'm joining you from the traditional and unceded territory of the Algonquin Nation. We're grateful to live, work, and gather on this land. And also, I want to thank Dylan Jenkins for being with us today as our knowledge keeper. And Dylan said something very important. Yes, let's give him a round of applause. He absolutely deserves it. He said something really important in his opening. He said, walking in our truth. And in order for us to do that, we have to do that with courage. Thank you, Dylan. So my name is Rechie Valdez, and I'm honored to serve as Canada's Minister of Women and Gender Equality and Secretary of State for Small Business and Tourism. Yes, I exist. C'est un vrai privilège d'être ici pour ma toute première levée du drapeau. De la fierté en tant que ministre avec tant de leaders communautaires, d'alliés et de collègues, y compris des parlementaires, les chambres de communes et du Sénat. Especially, I'll give a shout out to our Pride Caucus, everyone. I especially want to acknowledge our Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Mark Carney, for his presence and his continuous leadership in building a country where everyone can thrive. Thank you to Parliamentary Secretary Marie-Gabrielle Ménard. Such an honor to be able to work with you, Senator René Cormier, Kyle Zamora, and Mark Wilkinson from opening up. Pride season is about celebrating the strength, resilience, and the contributions of two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and gender-diverse communities right across this beautiful country of Canada. But it's also a call to action. In 2023, hate crimes targeting sexual orientation rose by an astounding 69%. Hate targeting gender identity or expression rose by 37%. Ces chiffres sont choquants. Ils touchent profondément beaucoup de personnes dans cette communauté. That's why, as you heard Prime Minister Mark Carney say, our new government is investing $1.5 million through Canada's action plan on combating hate to support Fierté Canada Pride that works to strengthen Pride organizations and the 2S LGBTQIA+ communities right across the country. This funding will help Pride organizers across the country, covering rising security and insurance costs, and provide training and resources to keep community members and volunteers safe. Yes, let's give Fierté Canada Pride a round of applause. We need to do this because Pride for all our celebrations must be safe for everyone. Quand les gens se sentent en sécurité, ils peuvent participer pleinement dans la communauté, la culture et de notre économie. As Secretary of State for Small Business and Tourism, I've seen firsthand the 2S LGBTQI+ community and how they contribute to every corner of our economy. There are over 100,000 2S LGBTQI+ owned businesses across Canada, driving innovation, creating jobs, and stronger communities right across the country. And through Canada's first ever, the one-of-its-kind 2S LGBTQI+ entrepreneurship program in partnership with the Canadian 2S LGBTQI+ Chamber of Commerce, we're helping those businesses grow, scale, and reach new customers. Just last month, the Chamber led 21 2SLGBTQI+ entrepreneurs on a domestic trade commission to Vancouver. And as our government breaks down those interprovincial trade barriers, this program is doing its part in helping our incredible entrepreneurs grow their businesses right here across Canada. This is what building one Canada economy looks like: removing barriers, creating opportunity, and making sure that absolutely no one in this country is left behind. Merci à tous d'être ici, de mener avec courage et de nous montrer ce que c'est de bâtir un Canada plus inclusif ensemble. Thank you all so much for being here. I look out in this crowd and I really appreciate you taking the time from your very busy schedules to do this, for leading with courage, and for showing us what it means to build a more inclusive Canada together. Happy Pride, everyone. Enjoy the celebrations right across the country. Merci.
Thank you, Minister Valdez. Rechie Valdez. J'invite à l'instant le sénateur René Cormier à nous adresser quelques mots.
Merci beaucoup. Monsieur le Premier ministre Carney, Ministre Valdez, Mr. Jenkins, Madame Ménard, First Nation Elder, parliamentarians, 2SLGBTQIA+ friends and allies, good morning. Bonjour tout le monde. This is a great day, you know why? Because it takes apparently the rain and the sun to make a rainbow. You are the rainbow. So on behalf of my colleagues from the Canadian Pride Caucus, and I want to name them, from the Senate, the Honorable Martine Hébert, Marnie McBean, Farah Mohamed, Kim Pate, Christopher Wells, and Duncan Wilson, and from the House of Commons, MP and Parliamentary Secretary Rob Oliphant, and MPs Ernie Klassen and Wade Chung. I'm really honored as one of the co-chairs to speak to you today. Friends, at a time when issues of sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression are under high tension, here and elsewhere, we are at a crossroads. Plus que jamais, nous devons affirmer qu'il n'y a pas de place dans notre pays pour la violence, pas de place dans nos provinces, territoires, régions et municipalités pour la haine, et pas de place dans nos écoles et communautés pour la discrimination et l'intimidation. Thank you, it helps me. Canada is the country of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, a country which embraces the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Protecting our borders against external threats is essential. Thank you, Prime Minister. But let us not forget also that the protection and safety of all citizens and of 2SLGBTQIA+ communities within our country is equally crucial and must be fully ensured. And thank you also for that, Prime Minister. This flag raising is more than a ceremony. It sends a clear and strong message to any individual organizations or governments that would seek to undermine the rights of people from 2SLGBTQIA+ communities, that this will continue to be intolerable. This event is an affirmation that respect for human rights is non-negotiable, and a testament to our conviction that freedom and equality are fundamental values of our country. Je suis heureux de constater la diversité des personnes. Merci. Je suis heureux de constater la diversité des personnes présentes ici aujourd'hui. Nous avons besoin de tout le monde dans cette lutte, qui n'est pas simplement celle d'avoir le droit de vivre en paix en tant que personne queer, mais bien celle du droit de toutes les personnes, qu'elles soient LGBTQIA+, alliées ou autres, d'affirmer librement qui elles sont et qui elles aiment. So as Canadians, let's all be there for the 2SLGBTQIA+ people in our lives. Let's speak out when we see intolerance in society, in our workplace, in our schools, and among friends. Let's celebrate the differences that make our society so vibrant and welcoming, because as we always say, silence is not an option. I will conclude by saying that some of us dream of the day when the acronym 2SLGBTQIA+ will be replaced by these simple 4 letters, L-O-V-E. And that everyone will be included in this word. Queer community members, allies, families, friends, so that love emerges victorious over hatred. So on behalf of my colleagues from the Canadian Pride Caucus, I invite you to be joyful and proud of who you are. Be who you want to be and love who you want to love. Soyez qui vous voulez être et aimez qui vous voulez aimer. Happy Pride Month. Bon mois de la fierté. Merci. Thank you. Miigwech. Merci.
Monsieur le sénateur René Cormier, merci beaucoup. I will now invite the Prime Minister Mark Carney et la ministre Rechie Valdez pour la levée du drapeau de Pride. Et voilà, il flotte, il est coloré, il est joli. Thank you everyone for coming here today. I will now invite all the participants to approach the podium for an official photo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Non. Je me ravise et c'est très gênant. J'aimerais vous présenter Kai Zamora. Kai, s'il vous plaît. Mes plus grandes excuses. Kai, c'est à vous.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Mari kompuche inche Kai Zamora Pinyen. My name is Kai Zamora, and hello, everybody. I am an Epupian, or the equivalent of Two-Spirit in my culture. Mixed Mapuche and settler ancestry, born and raised on Treaty 1 territory. And I'm very happy to speak today on the unceded lands of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe peoples. And I really want to thank Elder Dylan for the teaching that he gave to us today. I have had the honor of working with many Anishinaabe and Ininu and Métis elders in the Two-Spirit community. And one of the teachings that I have is for Sabe, honesty, and that is personal integrity in the way that I have been taught it. And I think that walking in truth exemplifies that teaching. Today, I wanted to recognize that Two-Spirit and queer community members deserve to be who they are and to thrive without oppression, barriers, or shame, and that's what Pride is about. But I think that sometimes people misunderstand what our pride is. It's not about superiority. It's about reclaiming ourselves in an environment that tells us that we are wrong. But we are not wrong. Despite what the colonial project has tried to strip from Indigenous nations, gender and sexual diversity is natural, and we are whole exactly as we are. Right now, we're living in a time of ongoing genocide and rising fear, especially with our neighbors to the south. And so one of the things that I wanted to say as we enter into this Pride season is that I want to remind us all to fight sustainably, because I know that we are fighting, because our oppression recognizes other oppression, and our gathered freedom is bound up in one another. And I'm burned out. I don't know about you. So I want to remind us that there are many valuable roles that are in an activist ecosystem, not just that of showing up to a protest, not just that of sharing things online, but of caring, giving, of going to elders and gaining insight of the people who caretake and feed others. There are so many roles, and they are all valid and valuable. And we need you to show up with the gifts that you possess, your own truth. And to those who want to prevent our rights and acceptance, I see your fear. And I hope that you can unlearn, because that's what we have all had to do in learning our own truths, is unlearn the things that have been given to us that are not ours. And as my grandmother would say, her whole life has been about unlearning. And so it is for all of us to go through that process and put in that effort. And our community will be here regardless of anyone's comfort, as we always have been. Cheltumai, thank you.